Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video, Forza Horizon 5. Today, I need to discuss some things that I've been doing recently. A lot of people have been asking me, how do I get the servers to work? Or how do I tune my cars? What do I categorize bolt-ons? Or how do I get these modifications and all these crazy stuff that I come up with? Well, I'm going to tell you all that in this video right here. I'm going to talk about the lobby. So the developers of Forza Horizon, as we know as Turn 10, for some reason make the online for this game very complicated, and it's really hard to connect in your friend's session when you're in a convoy. It takes a minute or two to get into their session and actually see them and play with them. And there's only certain areas that you can actually play with them at. One of the main areas is this right here, the Horizon Festival, which is this place right here on the map. This is like the default place where you first start the game off, and you will see your friends here. Sometimes even at this place, your friends will despawn and you will not be able to see them for a second. If you go too far down this drag strip, obviously you're not going to see because I'm not in a convoy right now, but if you go all the way down here to the end at this dirt road, at this entrance/exit of the airfield, your friends will disappear. And I don't know why, but for some reason, the session will just disconnect itself and you will not be able to see your friends or anybody else in the lobby. Actually, you might see other people in the lobby, but they won't be the people that's supposed to be in your lobby. This is one spot that you can see your friends sometimes. It doesn't work all the time. There's another spot that is way better than this. Your friends don't session from the lobby that much, but it still occurs every now and then. But it's way better than this spot. Also, it's good for street racing or drag racing if you want to do that type of stuff with your friends. This spot right here is, it's just like a default area where you just, pull up to a drag strip or whatever. So this spot right here, which is the bridge / the 3 tunnels, is a very good spot for you to meet your friends, and your friends won't really session from you. So as soon as you get past this border right here, you're gonna start seeing your friends in the session. Again, I'm not in a session right now, but this is an example. Also, if you have that house where you can fast travel anywhere, you can just fast travel over here. You don't have to drive over here. But I drive over here because it's kind of better in my opinion, because it gives time to put yourself in a session with your friends. So that's why I drive over here. In this general area, you will always see your friends. Sometimes you may session, but it takes like 10-20 seconds for them to get right back into the lobby with you. This is way better than the airfield. And also on top of that, this spot is good for drag racing anyways. It's got good scenery. It's a freeway for one, and it's nice, long and straight, and it's got good distance to where you can do like 3-4 rolls if you want to, like short rolls, or you could do a crazy 230 mile an hour roll. But I just hit 210 miles an hour. This car isn't even all that fast. I'll probably say all the way down past the 3rd tunnel you can go to and see your friends. As soon as you get past that, once again, you're gonna experience that air that you have not getting into the session with your friend, and they're just gonna completely disappear and disconnect out of your lobby. There's also 3 methods if you still can't see your friends that you're in this area. So 1, restart your app. Like, just close out Forza Horizon 5 completely and restart it and join your friend. Another one is if you go into Horizon Solo and then tell your friend to invite you, you join in Horizon Solo, it will put you in the online session with your friend. That's also another way to do it. And the 3rd way to do it is drive away as far as you can and then try to come back to your friend. Sometimes that might work. This right here is a little bit of information that you want to know or need, so you can join your friends, or if you want to do some online racing or street racing, drag racing, or whatever, this is the spot to come to, or this is what to do. Number 2, a lot of people have been asking me about my tunes and how I built my cars. The thing about it is, I don't care about being that fast in the game. When we're doing like drag racing and stuff, okay, I might tune my car to be a little bit quicker than an average car that a regular person may have. When I'm doing rolls or when I'm doing other videos, I don't care about being fast. So if you have all these people commenting, oh yeah, you're slow, or you don't know what you're doing, or you don't know how to tune your car, I'm not tuning my car to be fast. That's why. So just get that in your thick skull. But to the people that actually want the tools and stuff, what you want to do is, what I usually do is, I just get a car. So for instance, I'm gonna get this Shelby GT500 right here. When I get this car, my mindset is building it to be legit. I don't want no crazy 5,000 horsepower car that does 3 seconds at a quarter mile. I want a realistic street build car. Let's say if I wanted to make this car 750 horsepower. Okay, what I would do is I might put turbos on the car or a supercharger in the car if it doesn't have it, or maybe even a pro charger if it's possible. And then what I do is I go to tires and rims. Sometimes I might keep the stock street tires on the car. Some cars have street tires in real life and they race with street tires. Sometimes I might go for the slick compound, you know, like a street radio, like a Mickey, not a Mickey Thompson, but like a R888 or something, or a Nito NT5R or something like that. These drag tires are usually for when I go to the drag strip. I don't really put these on. Some cars, these are terrible with, so I don't want to use them all the time. I mainly use the slick tire compound. And then sometimes I always make the tires as wide as possible. These have 315s. Sometimes I extend the tires to make them stick out a little more, make sure they look a little poked out. The rims that I usually get is from the last option. Sometimes I get the work RSZRs. I also get the work HS203s, and I also sometimes get these radios up here, which is the wheeled racing pack. Those also reduce weight as well. Going on to the drivetrain, sometimes I get the race clutch. It depends on if the car shifts too slow. Sometimes I don't really care about the car shifting slow. I just let it shift slow. You mostly get transmission whine from the transmission itself. Times when you change the transmission, you get that annoying whine, and it gets very irritating sometimes. Some of these transmissions don't have it, some of these transmissions do. Let's say if you want to have 6 gears, okay, just keep the stock transmission. Don't go for the race transmission unless you want to hear the supercharger, unless you want to hear the transmission whine, or if you want the car shift a little bit quicker, because that's going to decrease your shift time by 0.10 seconds. So if you want to do that, then okay, get the race transmission. If you want to shift a little bit faster with the stock transmission, then just put a race clutch in it. The differential, I always max my differential out so I can tune my car the way I want, tune the gears, lower the car, raise the car if I have to. I mostly keep my car lower. I don't like when my car is raised. It looks like it's monster trucking high up in the air. It's not too stanced. It's just right for the car to do what it has to do. And then you go for the engine mods. So you right here, you have an intake. Let's say if this was an actual Shelby, right? Well, there's custom intakes for this car. There's something called a JLT cold air intake. If you want, and if you don't know what that is, look that up. It's usually put on these Shelbys. So that's why I say okay, cold air intake or JLT intake on the Shelby, because I upgraded the intake. The fuel system, that's mostly like when you say that you're gonna have an E85 tune, that's what I usually do. I put a fuel system in the car. Then you have the ignition. I'm not too sure what to classify that as, but I just leave that as is and I just put that on. I don't really talk about that. And then we have the valves, which also isn't really nothing crazy to talk about unless you're talking about like a car like with 3 or 4 valves, like a Mustang, or like an old 2005 Mustang GT or something. And then you have the exhaust. This comes in play with a lot of exhaust. You know, you have Borla Attack exhaust, you have Catback exhaust, you have Corsa Extreme, we have Akrapovic, you have a Matrix, you have all these different types of exhausts. So that right there plays in this category right here if you want to talk about different exhausts. Another thing that I also want to talk about is how the car sounds. So when you change the exhaust, it changes the sound of the car. I don't know if a lot of people have noticed that, but if you already have noticed that, yes, it changes the sound of the car. So if I had the stock exhaust on this car and if I revved it a couple times, you hear it's really raspy, it's really throaty, and you can really hear the exhaust, how loud it is. But if I put the race exhaust on, you can kind of hear it sound different. You can hear the rumble in the idle a little more, and you can also hear the car rev very differently. Like I'm gonna rev it right now. It sounds a lot more resonated. So it's like they put a resonator on it. I don't know why, but for some reason stock exhaust sounds like the car is modified, and the modified exhaust sound like the stock car. I have this car in real life, obviously, so I know what it sounds like. I'm telling you right now, with this upgraded exhaust system, this is what the car actually sounds like. And I will actually put a video clip in the video if I can. But this is what the car actually sounds like in real life in stock form. In upgraded form, it sounds like this. So so you can hear it's a lot louder. The camshaft, obviously this goes hand in hand with the heads cam, the long tube headers or the short tube headers. Do you have the displacement? That I don't really talk much about that. The pistons and compression, I don't talk about that either. And then obviously we come to the supercharger. You know, if the car has turbos, I say a Helium twin turbo kit or on 310 turbo kit or whatever turbo that the car has, an eBay turbo, whatever the car, when it comes to the turbo upgrade, that's what I'm gonna say that that car has, because you know it's just using your imagination, or you know it's just using your thought. You know, it's just putting your mind out there and you thinking, and you actually, you know, making the game feel a lot more real than, you know, obviously what it can be. When it comes to superchargers, some cars have 2, 3 superchargers. For instance, this car has 2. All right, so the Shelby comes with at least 3 superchargers. It comes with the stock Trinity supercharger, which is in the car already, and then you can upgrade the supercharger with either a Kenny Bell or a Whipple supercharger. That's pretty much it when it comes to the modifications, because that's all I really say. You know, you're not going to really say nothing else even in real life when you upgrade a car. All you're going to say is, oh, I have turbos, I have a supercharger, I have heads cam, and for, you know, for the Corvette owners, or I have an intake, I have a pulley, you know, all that type of stuff. So let's say if I got this Hellcat charger, well, this car has also has a filter just like the Shelby does that I just showed you. What I will say is it has a B Woody intake. Again, if you don't know what that is, or if you don't believe that know what I'm talking about, look that up right now on the internet. It's something called a B Woody intake for a Hellcat Charger / Challenger. And then for a GT500, you know, they come with the upgraded superchargers. They come with a Joker's ported blower. That's what I would say if I upgraded supercharger for that, or if I upgrade the turbos on this R34 over here. We're gonna have a single turbo precision 6266 turbo, and that's what you pretty much have to do when it comes to this game if you want to be realistic, and that's what I do. You know, I'm just about that realism type stuff, and I just try to keep it as original, as legit as possible. So we're gonna move on to number 3 now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so this is number 3 about the tips and tricks. A lot of people have been asking me about how I tune my car. Okay, well, I'm just gonna be straight honest with you. I don't know 100% on how to tune in this game. That's what I'm learning. I'm learning to tune my own self. I didn't look up any videos, I didn't steal anybody's tune, I didn't buy anybody's tune. I'm tuning myself so I can learn for myself how to tune in this game. I've been seeing a lot of videos about some people tuning their car to do wheelies. Well, recently I've been learning how to do that. I've been practicing how to do that. So I'm gonna get this 2016 Shelby GT350. This is one of my main cars that's tuned, and I'm gonna show you the launch on it. It's not complete a wheelie tune, but it lifts the tires off the ground. Of course, you have to do some test launches to make sure your tires are heated up. Tire pressure and all of that, and the tires being heated up is a very important factor in this game. You may not think it is, but it is. So make sure you heat the tires up a couple of times just to make sure the car has good heat in the tires, so you can hold the e-brake, which is the A or X on your controller, and then I press down on the gas completely. That's going to turn on the launch control on the car, and then when it's time for you to go, you release the e-brake and the car goes. And you see right there, I did not spin because I already heated my tires up. I'm gonna do it again. It's a little bit better that time. Launch in second gear with this car. Obviously, some people out there, they're probably gonna launch better than me at first. But, you know, again, I'm just learning how to do this. So I'm going to do a couple of test launches so I get my tires heated up. So that way your rims or your tires will be heated up so they can just hook up and go. Like that right there. Another thing I wanted to talk about is setting your own custom RPM limits the way you want to launch the car at. So if you have manual and clutch, which is a very important thing to have if you want to be faster than an average car, make sure you use manual and clutch. Your left bumper or your L1 on your controller is the clutch to go in and out when you shift. and circle or square or X and B on your controller is to shift up or down. So make sure you use that, because it will definitely make your car shift a lot faster than automatic or just normal manual. Again, hold down the e-brake, hold down the accelerator, and as soon as the RPMs go up, hold the clutch in as far as you want the RPM to be. I'm gonna show you right now. I'm holding the clutch down right now. As soon as the car revved up, I held the clutch. And that was a custom launch control. So if I just rev the car all by itself, this is what's gonna do. That's the default launch control RPM that it's gonna launch at. But if I just let the car rev like this and just hold the clutch down to my liking, and I can launch the car how I want. That's only some cars though. Some cars don't need that. Some cars already have a good launch control set up. We're gonna launch in first gear. I'm gonna stop, let the car rev. It does that. So I'm gonna reverse, go forward, back on the line. Boom. Okay, I got my RPM set up. My two-step, not my two-step, but my launch control is already engaged. So by the time it's time to go, release the clutch and the e-brake at the exact same time, and the car's out. So that's how you do that. This guy's in a Viper. But that's how you do the custom launch control. Try again. See, this car doesn't wheelie. This car can wheelie, but again, I have to learn how to do that. I'm practicing how to do that my own self. Again, I learned how to tune, so this isn't the best tune. This is my tune as it sits right now. Obviously, some people probably have a 1.4, 1.30 to 60. I have a 1.5. I'm still learning how to do that. I'm still learning how to fix that. And this is how my Trackhawk launches. Now I'm actually gonna go back to the drag strip and see if anybody's drag racing, so I can show a slight example here. I don't know if this car is fully built. Boom. Pops a wheelie. I'm not that type of YouTuber that oh yeah, I know all this stuff and I know all this knowledge and I'm not gonna share it. I try my best to share it. Sometimes you gotta know who you sharing it with though, because you know some people try to take your ideas and stuff like that. So I just try to be cautious when it comes to that. But to the people that don't like to steal ideas and you just want to do what I do, you know, you just want to be legit like I am, and you just want to enjoy the game a lot more than what other people enjoy it as, only going up and down the freeway at 260, 280, 300 miles an hour with hypercars, or just doing races in the game, or just grinding PvP. You want to just, you know, just drive around the game and cruise in the car game like the game is really made for. The game isn't made for PvP and speeding down the highway necessarily. It's made for other things as well. So that right there is my tip on how to do those different things. But I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.